What I wanted to be able to do today is introduce some newest members to my team of the Belt administration. One thing I promised to you before the election was that I would be transparent, there would be collaboration, accountability, and responsiveness in building a strong work ethic, and that we would also make this job enjoyable. And so the individuals I have behind me are some of the key people that I think that will help us be able to turn not only the city around, but help also turn the county around and help with this Northwest Ohio region. One of the most important jobs that I discussed during this campaign was the position of business advocate. This individual is in direct line of communication to the mayor on behalf of those looking to start or expand businesses in Toledo. For that position of Deputy Mayor of External Affairs, I have picked the individual of Dean Monsky, right here, who has a strong economic background, has worked with the RGP and a number of other groups in being able to help this region in its economic development, as well as has a good understanding of how to be able to hit the ground running. One of the key considerations in picking Mr. Monsky was that in order to turn this Toledo around, turn Northwest Ohio around in a fairly rapid way, we needed an individual that had a background and understood the players so that they didn't have to take the 6 months to a year just to learn the environment before they could start running. When Dean's name came up in our panel of people that were looking at the individuals for this position, we felt that we had a grand slam, and we still do to this day. So Dean will be the Deputy Mayor of External Affairs. I also talked about in my campaign that safety would be an extreme focus for me. And so what we wanted to do is be able to also recruit somebody that understood the environment of the city of Toledo, as well as had a background in the safety forces. I brought back a long-time officer of the Toledo Police Department in Shirley Green to be our new safety director for the city of Toledo. Shirley is currently at Bowling Green State University working toward her doctorate degree. In fact, I think all she has to do is get through her dissertation and she will be a PhD. So what we're doing is we're bringing in somebody that has been inside the system but has been gone for a while. So when she starts to look at the position, she was in administration, she understood how safety operations should function. We have a person that now, through a fresh set of eyes, can help us make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do to keep our public safe. And so I'd like to welcome Shirley Green also to the team as the newest member as the safety director of the city of Toledo. In order to keep the day-to-day operations running at a very efficient rate, we needed somebody that also understood city operations. I brought Steve Herwatt back to assist in our transition team. What I have gotten to know in that particular period of time is that this is a man that understands the internal workings of this city probably better than anybody that's here currently. And so in order to fill the internal deputy of operations position, Steve was my selection to be able to do that. Steve has an extensive background in engineering. He's also an attorney. He has done economic development. He has worked in various other areas of not only this city, but other city administrations. And he brings to bear a lot of experience in being able to make sure that the day-to-day operations of the city of Toledo will be followed through, and we will become more efficient in how we deal with our public. And so I'm really excited about bringing Steve Hurwat on as the Deputy Chief of Internal Operations, or Deputy Mayor of Internal Operations, I'm sorry. Can't get that fireside out of me, okay? Sorry. And then finally, another person that we actually recruited from FLS, Jen Sorgenfrey. Jen will be our PIO. I think you're all aware of her abilities to be able to communicate with you all. It is a big position for her. But one thing that I did gain during the experience of running as a candidate that had never ever run before is knowing how to trust people. And Jen was right there all the time, being able to put together the necessary press clips and things that we need to be able to do to make sure that you all were informed of where we needed to be in our campaign. So I'm happy to bring Jen on. Any of your contacts from the standpoint of media coordination from this point will actually be controlled by Jen. And I'm actually very, very excited about having her on board. She comes from a bit of a political background. She's worked with Peter Uvagi in Columbus and worked with some other people throughout our community and being able to make sure that the message is gotten out. So Jen is, once again, another pleasure to have on board on this team. So these are the 4 members currently of our new administration. I have done what I said I was going to do to this point. I have put 2 deputy mayors in position. I have put a safety director in position, and now we also have a PIO that is in position. So for me, this is a very exciting time. It helps us focus on being ready to be able to move forward. So now what I'm prepared to do is answer any questions that you might have of this team or myself.
Mr. Bell, one of the concerns with the Think Finder administration was people coming out of retirement, double dipping into the pension fund. I know that Mr. Hurwat is a retired city planner.
Yep.
How can you alleviate people's concerns?
I'm not going to even try to alleviate it. All I'm going to try to do is make sure that I have the best people on my team. And that's the bottom line. And if I take a hit for that, I take a hit for it. But the bottom line is that we need to be able to turn this city around, and we need the best people in place to do it. And so that's what I'm going to do. I mean, I guess people could say that about myself. Okay, they could say it about a lot of different peoples. But one thing I noticed is that typically in the city of Toledo it becomes an issue, but if you go anywhere else, it really isn't. So I'll take the hit for it, but I think I got the best man for the job, and I'll stand by it. Okay.
Mayor Finkbeiner has been classified often as too much of a hands-on, weekly meetings with directors that go on for hours.
I've been a part of that.
Do you plan on?
I've been a part of that.
Do you plan on having these type of weekly meetings that have been described to me as kind of a waste of time, or do you have trust in your key deputies now to kind of run the boat and then have staff meetings when it's necessary?
This is how it's going to happen, just so that you're aware of it. We will have staff meetings at 1:30 on Monday afternoons, okay? The staff meeting will last no longer than an hour to an hour and a half, probably closer to an hour. If we can't get it done in that period of time, whatever the problem areas are, we'll bring them back for meeting later on. But the bottom line is, do I trust Steve to run those meetings? Absolutely. Do I think I need to be there occasionally? I think so, because people will probably have questions for me. And so I've said I wanted to be accessible to people. But am I going to trust him to run that portion of it? Absolutely. There's no reason to hire people to do a job if you don't let them do it. And so my management style is going to be totally different. If I got a concern with the way he's doing something, or Dean, or Shirley, or Jen, then I'll address that issue with them, okay? But from the standpoint of trusting them to do the job, I think that they're as intelligent as I am, and I will give them some direction of where we need to be and let them do what they need to do.
How many positions total is the mayor's office going to have? What would be the name?
We don't have them all out yet, okay? I just wanted to be able to introduce his first 4. He's got a count now, but what I can tell you is that we'll stay inside that number, okay?